Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to talk circles around a drama as it's unfolding, and I will leave enough links in the description box and enough information in this that you can try to look up stuff on your own if I don't talk about the main drama. But in the last 24 hours, a guy named Rob, who I also first knew as Rithrandil, then FederalistFilms, then CardinalVirtues, then Unseenperfidy. He had a little scandal happen where he was part of the Crash Override network run by Zoe Quinn, and he was moderating things for that project and was privy to everything behind the scenes. And he was apparently using his position to get information to be a creeper and hit on at least 20 women. That's the story that you can Google and find all the little juicy bits about that. It blew up on Twitter last night. Just look for Unseenperfidy, his last face-wise YouTube channel. Yeah, when I heard this story, my first reaction, seriously, was, how the fuck was Rob part of an anti-bullying website and project when he was one of the biggest fucking bullies that I ever fucking met? Seriously, many of you don't know this because it was small potatoes, but there was a thing called Hate Club a couple years back that I was a part of initially. And when it got invaded by larger YouTubers such as Rob at the time and others that he brought along with him that were all SJWs, I left that project because it was no longer what I had initially envisioned. I envisioned a place where everyone would attack everyone, you know, and there would be no teams involved. But the way that Rob and his friends that he brought, which I'm not going to name because they're now distancing themselves from him, and I don't want to slander them, but the friends that he brought in were all about getting a group of people that were like-minded and then bringing in a person randomly that wasn't a part of that group and then insulting that one person from all different directions. Instead of it being more like a mosh pit where everyone gets hit, they wanted to bring in targets and have everyone dogpile on that person. And that's why I didn't like the project anymore. And it was fucking Rob at the fucking center of it. And that's a fucking fact. And to find out that this whole time he's been part of the fucking Crash Override network, a fucking website where people who are bullied will go to it and then try to get help for being bullied. What the fuck? Oh my goodness. It just didn't sit well with me at all. Broke my brain for at least an hour to find that out, that he was a part of that. And then there's the whole scandal where he, behind the scenes, was using the information he would get from people asking for help from that network, that project, and then using that basically as his dating black book and trying to get women to visit him and being a creeper with at least 20 different women. That you can find out on your own. But I'm talking around that drama right now, and I'm saying there's a little bit more seriousness to this than people are coming out with, because Rob openly on his YouTube channels suffered from depression, and it was a long-term thing, and many different times he contemplated suicide. He said this openly on his fucking channel. And he has now deleted all of his accounts online that people knew him for. Even his gaming account, Tinkle Snort Emporium, which not many people knew about and was completely apart from all YouTube drama and all internet drama. He deleted that shit. He's gone. Like, fucking... When people, YouTube aside and Facebook aside and Twitter aside, when they kill off all that stuff, that's that's some depression. But this guy, when he gets depressed, he thinks about killing himself. And I just, the professional side of me wants to know that at least one person isn't going to try to distance themselves from him and maybe stay with him in this time, because I've seen a lot of his old friends, people that I've seen him in videos with, people who have stayed in his place or he stayed in theirs, and I've seen, videos of sleepovers. I've seen them on Twitter distancing themselves from him. And this is a guy who, when he's depressed, might kill himself. And I know that would be a big rush for all the 4chaners who are on this now, or 8chaners, or whatever. But it's not a rush for me. And so if you are a person who can get past that Rob used a network where people are going for shelter from harassment in order to find people to pick up who might have been vulnerable, and if you can get past other things that have been figured out behind the scenes about him being a part of that network, like him being privy to Exiled reporting that Ashes the Raven, Josh Clark, was stalking her and trying to get help from Crash Override Network, and then him taking that information behind the scenes and giving it to Ashes the Raven just to spite Exiled, another person he's had problems with in the past. If you can get past that, if you get past the 20 women that have come out, if you can get past the fact that he was hanging out in a Skype log with Sarah Nyberg, who's a known apologist for pedophilia, and with his little contacts with Sarah Nyberg, that was probably how he found the docs for Hannibal the Victor 13, and then just on a whim outed him. I don't know what his reasoning was for doxing Hannibal the Victor, but we all marched like little ants with their mound stepped on, didn't we? This is, if you can get past all of that is coming out in the wake of this scandal, as it were, please think about how this is a guy that when he's depressed, he might commit suicide. And somebody should be there with him. Hopefully it's somebody who thinks that all of this is lies. Somebody that can really stand by him or not. I mean, he admitted to the shit about the 20 women. So he admitted to using the information of Crash Override Network, that confidential information for that. So maybe it's somebody who can just forgive him. But he's in a bad place. And we know what happens when this particular person gets in this bad place. And I hope there's someone out there for him. Maybe somebody who's never seen the internet